and I am joined by the man who gives the best feedback in all of gaming, owns the Discord feedback channel, Coach Soter Dave, who just released an amazing video on YouTube and competitive play. If you haven't checked it out, worth a watch. But what's going on, Mr. Dave?
Good evening. We're all good.
And of course, we are here with the man who loves everything about Chivalry, including horses and archery, Skadii Games.
That's a lie, but half a lie. I'll take it though.
And we've been trying to have some guests on the channel lately. Last week we had some, thought-provoking analysis on the game from Ziggy Lotta. Really, really interesting read. And you're gonna get none of that today because we have EmperorBubbles here to join us. What's going on, Mr. Bubbles?
It's a good roast, Stridah, but it's good to be here. Praise be. Thanks for having me on. It's good stuff.
Now, I do have to say the intro meme that I was playing before we got on here, which was freaking hilarious, was not made by me. It was actually came from the Empire, and the guy, I cannot remember his name, the guy who lost the joust to Crafty. It was actually the creator, but Hiker Beck, yes. But thank you for joining me, guys. I'm excited for today. I'm excited for tonight. I think we're gonna have some good conversations, and it's now been a few weeks since the patch, the big patch, at that.
It has.
So yeah, I'm having a great time. I was watching Dave's video today, and he was talking about competitive play, and he's like, how many noobs can you stomp before it gets boring? And I said, I could stomp a few thousand more. Like, I'm having a blast. Oh, man. So I figured what we'll do here, boys, is we have some good topics on hand, and I thought we'll start with just some patch impressions where we've now had enough time to play the patch. I know for our last cast, I only had a little bit of game time before I got to give my first impressions. So I'm curious to hear what we're thinking about the patch overall and state of the game, just kind of quickly, boys.
I think this is some of the best Chivalry that we've seen yet. There are problems. I'm still really undecided on the counter window changes and stuff like that. I think the Cav Sword has been fine. I think the new map is getting a little bit better as people learn how to play it and stuff. I'm still having a really good time. Usually, I've been grinding Chiv, and usually I need a break, but I've been still having a blast, to be honest. So,
that's great to hear, Dave. What are we the general content? Because I know there are some qualms with the combat changes, but the general content, how are we still feeling now after playing with it for a few weeks?
So, I'll bring you, because I'm like that competitive player, I'm going to bring you the competitive perspective. Competitive community, just as time goes on, they hate the map more and more. And they have some like valid reasons and then some not so valid ones, at least from my perspective. So for the new map, I actually like it. All of the competitive community pretty much hates it, at least a majority of them, to the point where they don't even want to touch it competitively. They don't even want to try it. I think that first objective just sucks. Kill the peasants. On Coxwell, it's novel. It's like a novelty, spawning in as a peasant and then dying and then respawning as a normal soldier. But spawning as a peasant like 3 or 4 times, knowing that you're never going to win. Yeah, I don't like any objective that is a guaranteed L. Like, right? And especially not even having fun when you're getting the guaranteed L. You're literally dying as a peasant. You don't even get to use a weapon you want. You literally just die. You don't get your horses either if you're playing on Mountain Warfare. They get horses and you don't, so you just get creamed. So that I don't like that part. But the rest of the map, I actually like it a lot. I think it's really fun.
Okay.
Like he said, like Skadii said, one of the greatest maps so far to me. I don't agree with the competitive players in that regard. The new weapon, I love it. It's fun. I think it's one of the best weapons they've ever added. The combat changes, I don't agree with everything, but I'm not like, I'm not crying. it was decent. No. So the battle pass, actually I do think that one is kind of disappointing. And I think it's all that any disappointment that I do feel with the update is brought in by the fact that this update took longer than most, but did not have any considerable improvement compared to the others. Like, I didn't feel that this update was better than the Thaik Stronghold update, Winter War. It actually had less content, to be honest, but it was
no.
but it
That's
took
a good
longer.
point.
So it's like I don't get that part, but I want to let our epic guest talk.
No, Bubbles. I got a question for you. Have you tried the cavalry sword yet?
Yes, believe it or not.
I thought the answer was going to be no.
I put down that Danax sometimes, but
when he throws it.
There you go. I've used it. It's good. I like these weapons that I think are the best, so I usually use the Danax. But the cavalry sword, of course, I'm gonna use a new weapon. I've had fun with it. I've never tried it on the horse though. So I actually don't know what it does.
You should. It's
I
really
heard it's
good,
really
man.
good.
Gonna give me an aneurysm.
The couching,
I've never seen Skadii so happy.
dude. The couching on the horse with it is honestly too cheap, in my opinion.
It's broken for me.
It's broken. How's it broken for you?
If I press the special button, it does a special attack, not the couching.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, for me,
so sad.
I can couch it, and like it's way better than a lance. Like you can.
I know. Yeah,
you can
I've seen
hold
it. It's awesome. Yeah, because it doesn't
It's
stop when it
disgusting.
hits people, right? It just
Yeah.
keeps going.
Yeah. Just keep it for how much stamina you have. You can just
I've
keep
been-
drilling.
I've been trying to get footage for a video, and I can't make it work. It won't work.
What is couching?
Couching is when you place your weapon
It's-
on the
yeah,
side
yeah.
and you hold
Gotcha,
it there.
gotcha.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you like hold it there, and it acts as like an active hitbox instead of an actual like attack, and it's so easy to use. Like it's like free kills.
It's basically the same position as a lance, but you have the cav sword, and it just does way too much
gotta try
damage, and you can go through. I immediately had like 11 kills within 2 seconds the first time I tried the new map on Mounted Warfare, just running through with the cav sword. But I think it's a pretty well balanced weapon. Besides that, but
Yeah, better try it. I know you guys were talking about the battle pass. I will say I said I'm never gonna buy a battle pass, and then they put this Tenosian stuff in. I don't know why. I just like the Tenosian stuff, and I bought the battle
I think
pass.
it looks
I
pretty good.
bought
but-
everyone, and I don't even care about the battle passes. I just buy them, I guess, just to have them and something to do. I don't know. I finished it in only a few days, but I mean, look, it's all. If you don't want it, don't buy it. But it's only $9.99. Like I've been playing the game for 2 years, so I don't feel like it's that big of a deal to grab it. Did you like the battle pass though, Bubbles?
I like it. You said you finished it in a few days. I haven't finished it. I play a lot of Shiv, but I don't know. I guess I need to step up my game.
Well, there have been some people who it wasn't updating for.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think
Yeah, oh,
if
yeah,
you're one of
that's-
those
that's
people who
totally
hit
me.
The bug, yeah.
Yeah. You get a pass. You get a pass on this one. No,
Go back to the stream.
But I will say the new map, Bridgetown, I love it. I think it goes a little quick, even on off. Like if you can steamroll on offense, I feel, and then defense can go quick. You could be done in one stage. I like the new throwables. I think it's fun. There's a fish. I'm satisfied.
Do you get a chance to pick up any of the peasant weapons around the map yet?
No, but I heard there's a sickle. I've seen your videos on the sickle. Something else I saw somebody
There's
just
a
going
sickle,
crazy.
Busted.
A broken sword, a hammer, and they're all just disgustingly
The
broken.
hammer's OP. The hammer's the strongest one.
I gotta
Now,
find it.
Yeah, you got to pick one up just for the novelty of at least 1 or 2 runs on one, just gambling everyone you see.
You know what I don't
You
like?
thought the Danax was fast? You'll gamble the Danax.
Yeah, you know what I don't like about the new map is I don't want to speak too soon and say that it's like defender sided or anything, but I haven't lost a game on defense on that map, and so
Weirdly, I've never been put on defense on the map.
well if I get put on defense, it ends first objective, and that's like I don't want to like be accused of team stacking or anything, but if I don't go on attack, I don't get to play the map, so I don't know what to do.
I'm still in my head kind of debating about the balance of the map. I will say it does feel too quick. That's always been my thing with it. It feels like a quick shot.
I feel
a
too
quick shot of
pressured.
chivalry.
I feel way too pressured to just focus only objective, and that's it. Like for every
especially
single
for the first few points.
for every single point, if you're not immediately going for the objective and only going for it, you're probably you might
gonna
lose.
lose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and especially the market section with all the carts and stuff. I don't think people know what they need to destroy. And I'm like, they'll be all around like the cart fighting, and I'm like, guys, just destroy
I
the
think
carts. And
if they don't want to break the balance, they could like increase any of the objectives that have a health bar. they could increase the health bar and then increase the time.
increase the
Because
time.
I can
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
why you wouldn't want to increase the time on like an objective that has like a finite amount of resources, like the torch objective where you have
Yeah,
to burn
yeah.
stuff, and also the peasants. You know, you can't just like add more peasants. It's
Yeah.
going to probably look weird.
Well, what I found a little interesting was last week Ziggy said the actual map to completion is around the time of the other maps. So I did do a run where I was like, let me see, because the only way I'm going to be able to know this is kill counting, right? So I did no objective, and I was like, let me just slaughter as many people as I could. I was able to get up to like 70 kills in the time, so it wasn't as short as I expected, because I thought it was going to be one of those maps where you're like really hard pressed to get 50 kills. But I was able to get up there, so maybe it's like Breach of Baldwin-ish length, but it always
I
felt
could see
short.
it still feels a little bit shorter, and measuring it
Yeah.
with kills might be a little weird just because everyone is so congested. And
That
like,
might be why too.
but
yeah,
like
I didn't even think of that.
I think if every point is extended to a certain time, it can feel like a regular map. But I would say usually it doesn't feel the same length as like a Lion Spire or something. You know, like
no way. I'd say like what Dark Forest and Lionspire are probably the
Yeah.
longest ones. Aberfell maybe.
It also often ends early.
Yes.
That's going to make it feel shorter.
Have you guys noticed a difference on 64? I think I've only played it on 64 twice, and both games, I mean, I don't know if like me and one or two of the guys possibly being on the team threw it also out of whack that we just murdered the defense. So I don't know if we got a real like normal lobby in that case.
I don't know. It might play similarly. I haven't played enough mounted or anything to really get a grasp on that, but I don't know. I'm excited to see. They said they're gonna be updating it and balancing it more, so I'm curious to see how they're gonna do that. But who knows?
They need that last objective of the fat, overweight, drunk noble running away, and you got to get him to like I don't know, the castle or something before he's killed, and he moves super slow. They need it. That wasn't my
like
idea. I saw
Kirby.
that somewhere, but I was like, that would be epic.
It does need one more objective. We have some maps which feel like they have 7 stages, and we don't feel like those maps are too long. So this map has 5 stages. I feel like it could do with 6.
Yeah, I still enjoy a full Lionspire or Rudhelm the most. So to me, that's the optimum map length for me.
Yeah, they really nailed those first maps, man. I think they did.
Yeah, that's why I've always asked. I'm curious if like anything changed in the design team because those original maps were so epic.
I
And
think
even
they're-
Galencourt to me and Aberfell was so good too.
They could be experimenting with different stuff. You know, it could be the same designers, but they do feel a bit different, right? Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah, no, it just feels slightly different to me. I don't know.
I think they could have been a little bit more creative. You burn what, 3 buildings or 3
Yeah,
sections? I mean,
yeah.
that's whatever.
We have
but-
that on like every other objective map.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like from Thaic Stronghold, the objectives didn't feel too creative. When you played Aberfell, you were like, "Holy crap, we're toppling stones." This
Yeah.
felt super creative and like picking up pigs and stuff.
Yeah.
And this map did
That's what
have,
they've always done best.
yes,
in my opinion.
this map did have the throwing peasants through windows, but in general, I don't think that they've
Very
been very
generic,
creative.
very
Yeah,
generic.
exactly. Even the Tenosian maps, I'd like to think they're pretty creative. The Baldwin in particular with the breaking
Yeah,
down the
100%,
wall, the border,
100%.
that's actually really cool. I want more objectives like that. I would like a map where every objective feels totally unique compared to what we've gotten. But at the same time, something like stand on this objective and capture it, it works so well that like you can't really blame them for using that as a fallback because everyone just has fun with stuff like that. They don't have to worry about failing if they do tried and true, which is fun.
Yeah, no, I think it does hit. It does have some of that torn banner creativity, which is what they've always done best to me is the map design and just making those creative, like epic moments, like Aberfell, as you said. But there's so much leading up to that just doesn't feel. It just feels like a cookie cutter map from any other game. Like it's just here you go. I don't know. It just feels like Overwatch or something.
I think it's pretty indicative, Bridgetown, of experimentation because the first objective is what I consider like caca, and then the last objective is what I consider amazing.
Yeah, it plays different. I expected to be in the fields a lot more with really open fights, and you don't feel that open space on the map. You feel very tunneled. Like you never feel like the battle is just fully
Yeah.
spread through an entire farming field.
I guess. Yeah, it's very vertical. There's a lot of like slanted, areas and slopes, and you don't really get that wide open area. But there are a few like areas that are. It feels more open than Thaig Stronghold. Mm-hmm. Don't you think?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like well, at least in 64, man, it feels more open to me. There's way more passages you can go to, especially when you reach the castle stage. Mm-hmm. There's like 30 different passages you can take in the castle, whereas Bridgetown is just...
I meant like actually like spaces that are like wide.
Yeah.
In the very beginning, maybe, but...
Yeah. Thaig has open areas, but then when it gets congested and claustrophobic, it gets very claustrophobic. But yeah, the first two stages are relatively open. Mm-hmm. And then once you get past like the gatehouse and stuff, things open up a little bit again. But as I said, Thaig to me always felt like they tried really hard, and the map looks great. It just to me didn't play that well. But yeah, I don't feel the creativity as much on this one, which it's fine. But hopefully the next one we get is better. So we touched on. Oh, go.
I had a comment with creativity. Where are the game types? Like where's capture the pig? Where's capture the flag? Where's like you hold an object, you gain points? Where's that?
We're supposed to be getting jousting.
Cool. Yeah, that's why Chivalry 1 had so many game modes. I don't know where they all went. Like we had King of the Hill, we had capture the flag. All that stuff was like standard. It was in the game, and they weren't like crazy to make. They just used team deathmatch maps, LTS maps, to kind of like use as a building block. So I don't know. They shouldn't be that hard to make.
Yeah, especially, as technology gets better, things are supposed to be easier to make and more time efficient to make. So it seems like in a lot of plays, and this is not a Chivalry exclusive thing, but games are stepping back in what they're offering. So I don't know if it's it is an industry issue, but
I feel like they might be holding their cards. Like they've got like a 5-year plan or something. I don't know.
Possible.
They do that
a lot
with
of those
content.
A lot of the companies plan so far in advance now, the big ones. That is a true thing where they'll have things done a year in advance and they trickle it out. I don't know if Torn Banner is that level of prepared.
Right. Maybe they're doing it with all those people that they hired.
So
maybe,
I doubt they do that with like maps and weapons and stuff, but they do it with like the cosmetics. And they've had that siege crossbow down, like.
Yeah.
They've had that siege crossbow done for like a year now. He knew he's not supposed
to come in. Can you say hello?
Yeah.
Hello.
All right. You can go to your side now, okay?
So
yeah,
they do have stuff done and they do hold it off. I don't know why, but when people constantly complain about having less content, it might be a good idea to kind of just drop it off. Mm-hmm. Like how long have we heard about the siege crossbow?
A year.
How long exactly?
2.
How long? It's been done for that whole time. Icons done, skins are done, models done, but
they like to make giant releases, though, Dave. Giant releases.
Yeah, giant, right? Gargantuan, Titanic updates.
Yeah,
that's a philosophy thing, because if you release a lot of small updates, then it doesn't feel like you got anything because they're so tiny. But then the opposite is you release a big update, people gotta wait and they're gonna get bored. So,
yeah, I don't know.
I think there's a fine line there.
I know, Soter, that you don't think that this update was that big, but I think it was pretty sizable. I think like
I think it's comparatively, it's the same size as the last update we got, but it took longer. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it had
you could
less,
say that.
It had less armor sets than the last update. It had what people are saying is a smaller map. It had the same amount of weapon additions. So it's like. We didn't get much more. Also, not only did we get less armor sets, the armor sets that we got don't take heraldry, so I consider that less as well.
So, while we're on new content, we touched a little bit on the Cav Sword. Do you guys still have the same feelings of its competitive viability? Because sometimes when something's brand new, you're like, oh, it's awesome. Or do you guys think it needs a boost? Do you think it needs to be pulled down a little bit? What do you guys think?
I can't comment on this. I don't hate it, but I'll use it for a couple lives. But maybe Dave's got a better opinion probably.
My opinion didn't change. I think it's fine where it is. It doesn't need a buff or a nerf. They did a really good job. Probably the best weapon addition yet.
Okay.
With I didn't hear the question. Sorry, it was a cav sword. What do we think of the cav sword?
Yeah. I said, do you still have the same feelings that it's a little bit overpowered? Because I know you and Dave both said it was very strong.
I think its length is kind of just annoying to fight against, but it's but I think it's good. I think the damage it does for how long it is decent.
Yeah, I don't think it's very strong.
Yeah,
I think it's just okay.
Yeah,
that's because in my head I was playing with it on a defense map where there's actually a decent lobby, and in some of those 1vx's I was struggling to put people down. I was like, I don't see it in a sweat lobby. Like I wouldn't run it into my event tomorrow. let's put it that way. I feel like I'd be putting myself at a disadvantage. So I think for it to be like viable at the high end, it could use a little boost to the damage.
I think that it's really fine because. Like you said, not a lot of us care about the cavalry part, but that is its point. That is the point of the weapon. If you use it on cavalry, it's like the third best cavalry weapon ever, and that's actually really a big deal. It's super strong in cavalry, so I don't think that it needs to be that buffed because of that. And it has a lot of invisible benefits that people don't think of, like because it's slower. That means it actually has a larger counter window and longer active parry windows. And people don't think about that. It's the slowest one-handed weapon, which means it has the longest active parry and the largest counter windows. So these tiny benefits, they are invisible, but like you may not realize how much they're saving you when you use that weapon. Some of the competitive players, and I believe it's like the best defensive one-handed weapon ever because of that.
Yeah, I could see that.
That's what I think.
Yeah. All right, so the big ticket item was crossplay, and I had so much fun with crossplay so far. I don't know. I got to play with a bunch of the console boys who I've been waiting to play with for 2 years, and to me, it's so amazing when it works. So amazing to finally get everyone in a party. I'm loving that, but there is going to be a point soon where I get frustrated with it how it works. So I don't know if you guys have had this issue. I can't queue parties for team objective. It just won't let me do it.
Last night, I got everyone in the party the first try, and it was like a miracle. I was like, oh my god, everyone accepted the party invite, and we could just play the game. But I still think it's just the quirks of the regular party system overlaid with this new friend code system. But I think the friends code system works. It's good. Notifications, like I said last time on the podcast, I think would be nice. I think that just having my friend code in my chat is nice. They can just give me theirs whenever they want. It's good. I think it's given the console players a chance to play with their friends, and it's actually made a huge impact, I think, on retention for the game. I think like the Xbox release felt bigger, but I feel like this release is retaining more players. I could be wrong because it's all anecdotal, just watching Twitch numbers and people coming back, how often.
I would agree with you.
And
I'd agree.
I think if they had this feature in the real reinforced update, that would have been nice for retention throughout this whole period. It would have had so much more impact, but what can you do?
I owe them an apology. I clowned on them in my video for calling it a crossplay beta, but it actually works pretty decently. So
yeah.
I gotta take my clowning back. I had a few issues, but generally it works. I'm a little bit tilted that it still doesn't have, like, they just removed the join game button. Why?
Well, it didn't work, so why not?
It works for Steam players. You can do it for Steam.
It works sometimes, but I guess if for me to be like perfect, add a join game button that works on matchmaking servers. Then you are like, you just reached actual peak, and like I can actually respect that. But until then, at the moment, it's satisfactory. They did a good job. It works most of the time. So.
Yeah. No, and on the topic of how the PSN is going and numbers and stuff, I think as creators, it's been a great month for all of us, right? Everyone feeling the new people on the channels and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that these PlayStation players are actually a lot more interested in content than the Game Pass players were. What do you think?
I agree. I said too, I think the PlayStation players are better than the Game Passers. I'm just going to say it. So I don't know if there's any anecdotal evidence to that, but I feel they're better. Well,
the Xbox had PC players on it too.
Yeah,
probably those stupid PC players.
yeah. That's also a
be
good
it.
point. I
Must be
forget
it.
that Game Pass is also on PC.
Look, anyone who goes into the console versus PC thing, like if you were around for Steam release, that was one of the easiest times to stomp that there has ever been. So I don't, I don't think like brain dead. Most gamers are bad in general. So, PC or console, people starting out in this genre don't do well. But I gotta give it. I think the PSNs have been the best edition.
I was gonna say about the party. I can't create a party in search either.
It seems
It's
to
like, all right.
only work for some
really?
people. Not.
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
a comment from Reap saying that someone else had the same issue where you can't even matchmake when you make a party. Like, there's
I can make a party. I can't.
and the
queue
stutter
party.
issues,
Yes,
are terrible.
apparently-
I haven't had that.
If the stutter issues are actually tied to the party system, which based on what I've seen from Ziggy is true, then obviously that's a really bad negative for crossplay
Bubbles,
parties.
what's your opinion on that?
On the stuttering or the parties?
The cause of the stuttering issues.
I don't know. It's pretty noticeable though. I don't really notice it because I feel like it doesn't really affect anything, but it's annoying.
Okay.
I mean, it could be annoying as
haven't had any
someone
of
watching
that.
too.
Yeah, I haven't had any of that.
You're always queuing alone.
That's not true. I've played it with a lot of parties lately.
I found an Ascandir once
The
alone.
champ is a loner.
I was probably with someone. I was probably with Chicken Legs.
I threw a big fish at you and I killed you.
You did, and then you left the game. I had the holy fish on the bridge, and he was on Tanoja, so everyone's got the same skin. I was just like scanning my mouse on every person. I'm running around with the fish, and he was gone.
That just made my night. It was so funny.
Man.
No, we got
I
our armor
claimed the
variants.
fish, and he ditched me.
We got the armor variants from the reinforced update. We don't all look the same anymore in Tanoja.
Yeah, now instead of 2 variants, there's 3.
And now the armor, the new armor sets are super dark though, right? And so the older helmets and stuff look so goofy because they're so off colored that like you almost have to wear like a certain armor or a certain
I like
helmet.
the new
with
Tanoja skins a lot.
I do really like them too. They have like a Mortal Kombat vibe, you know.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, they look sick. I like them.
I think they're dope. But
And in my head too, when I see someone in the skin, I'm like, oh, we might have a gamer over here because they grinded the pass already. So.
yeah,
No
gonna be in for a fight.
heraldry.
yeah, no hair.
No
the
heraldry,
heraldries, yeah, I agree.
I mean, yeah, I'm not. I don't even bother
give
with
me
those
you
issues
give me an
anymore.
armor set.
That's small ticket to me.
You give me an armor set, and the colors are yellow, orange, and green, and you can't change them.
Yeah.
Oh man, but
What if they added like Fortnite skins?
I think
Like-
What does
that would
that
take
even
it.
mean?
You're talking like
Yeah.
like characters from popular culture,
Oh yeah, stuff like that.
like Thanos.
I'm gonna tell you, people are gonna
Sam-
be pissed.
Yeah, I feel like people would be pissed.
That's one thing. If you do that, you gotta add it when the game releases. You gotta set that precedent. You can't start with realistic and go to that.
Well, it's much easier
Yeah.
in those games.
Fortnite
to
does it better
implement
than
that,
any
but-
other game, though, man. I'm telling you, they got the best battle passes and stuff. They're
You see
genius
people
over
get
there.
angry that Fortnite has more Star Wars characters than Battlefront 2.
That's honestly sad. That's really sad. But let's get back to the PSN players for a few minutes here, because I think part of why I'm having so much fun right now is the PSN noobs, and not just for slaughtering them with no mercy. But I think this genre, when you first start playing it, like what makes it so fun and interesting is there's so much shit in this type of game that you can't do in any other game. And you see such crazy things like getting both of your arms amputated and then chasing someone around, headbutting them, or jumping on a catapult and having 10 people launch onto the walls. There's so many interesting things in these games, even running with the pigs, that it's really funny the first times you do it. And seeing all the PSN players do some of that stuff, to me, is just bringing so much fun into the game, because after 2 years, we don't experience that anymore. But you see what really brings people in the genre and makes them love the game. And it's just so cool to see.
Yeah, when it first came out, I was on Breach of Baldwin, and they were trying to load the bombards, and it was hilarious because I just sat there and watched them for a little bit. Then they'll bring the balls up and just put them on the ground where you're supposed to ignite the bombard, and then like I had to like carry it over, and I was yelling at them like, "Come on, like just put it in the front," and just stuff like that, and then just seeing them kill each other in a 1vx is really fun. Like, sometimes you don't even have to do anything. They'll just accidentally kill each other. And I don't know. It's fun to see them going through the same processes that we all went through when we were first discovering the game.
It's quite interesting how much of an impact Chivalry leaves on people, because you'll talk to somebody that has like less than 2 hours in Chivalry 2, and they'll say that this is like one of their most favorite games ever.
Yeah.
Because it left so much of an impact on them with all the silly moments and all the fun things that they could do. So I think this is it's hard. It's weird to say. It's like, it's the game that has the most people that have like very small amount of hours, but they loved those hours and they had so much fun that it left so much of an impact, and everyone knows it. It's like, I never met a lot of people who play like games on PC that haven't played Chivalry, but and they like it. So I don't know. It's very fun. Everyone who plays it has fun.
Lyric's been playing it too, which is nice.
I saw XQC on.
I heard he was on with like 50,000 people watching or something crazy.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like he gets super angry and then just quits every time though.
So I've never watched him. I don't know what he does. I just know it's a famous person.
Yeah,
there's an age gap there, and I don't know.
Same. I'll just hear that he's on, and then
I think he's just a gamer that was like a professional gamer at one point for like an esports gamer.
Yeah.
And now he's just a streamer.
Yeah. He was a professional Overwatch player, and then Yeah.
See, that's more than I knew there. But it's great to see those people play the game and have fun on it, because it just introduces so many people to the genre.
Yeah.
Because out of those 50,000, people just immediately went purchase.
Yeah. And then the clan guys snipe him.
Yeah. Oh man, that's got to be hilarious. I mean, not good for his retention on the game, but
I know it because I see them post clips about it all the time. They literally they post, "Ooh, got him," and they post the clip where they killed XQC, and then
that's cringe. That's cringe. Yeah.
I mean, it is kind of hilarious, but them. Yeah, no, it is funny though.
I was gonna say about the PlayStation. I won't call them noobs. That's rude. But they always block. They just hold block. They don't do anything else. It kind of like I feel like it makes me a worse player.
Oh yeah.
Because then I'm always kicking, but I have to kick because it's the only way to take them down. They're just so ruthless.
Sometimes when someone fights back, it's like such a shock that you're caught completely off guard. Like, oh shit! Like encountered my hit. Like, what the hell is going on here?
Like I've been so used to feigning and countering, but just don't really need it right now, at least.
No, it sometimes will make things different because they won't do the correct thing. So you can't really predict it because they will sometimes throw out the worst possible move at the worst time, and you're not expecting it.
Yeah, they're all addicted to gambling too.
Yeah. You gotta go easy on those heavy swings until you go back and forth ones. Make sure they're not a gambler.
The maces will get me these days. What about you guys? I've been getting snagged by left-clicking mace. Stick? Yeah, sometimes
You aren't ready to hear this. The aim assist on the archers.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's a thing. It's gotta be.
I am an archer apologist. Okay, but I have not died to more
trivia
archers.
fact: Dave has won the only ever archery competition in Chivalry 2. Let everyone know his shame right now. Okay, you can.
Yes. It is the most egregious it has ever been. I see a guy like an actual robot. He cannot have a real personality in real life. I refuse to believe he's anything but an NPC. And he just goes like,
yeah.
hits all three arrows easily with that bullet magnetism. The arrow curves to hit me in real time.
Curves in between all their allies when you're in a 1vx.
Yes.
That's that Robin Hood Men in Tights
swirls around and then hits you in the head.
Oh my god. It's the worst it's been. It is so crazy. Everyone has been complaining in the VCs to tone down that aim assist. And it's not aim assist, sorry, bullet magnetism. It's crazy.
Not only is it the aim assist, but Archer is so popular right now that every team has a full contingent of archers with probably 3 or 4 people sitting there spamming Archer, hoping someone switches off of it.
They teabag, and then I'm like, that's it. The next 10 minutes is dedicated to killing that one guy.
Oh, God. Well, I will say the archers now, it's, new players, tunnel vision. They're so brain dead. If you get to that back lines, it's hilarious. You just pop one after the other.
It's like whack-a-mole. It really is.
It is. It's steel clubbing. It's steel clubbing. It's hilarious.
I love how you call him brain dead.
Oh yeah,
It's
if
just
they had
funny.
brains,
It's
they wouldn't be playing Archer, man. Come on, name a duo more synonymous than Brain Dead and Archers. Like it's hard to come up with one.
Those go hand in hand.
The archers I do have respect for are the throwing hatchet ones. I've been playing a little bit of throwing hatchet archer, and it is fun. It's actually fun.
Skirmishers.
Yeah,
Dude, that's the goat right there.
Yeah,
dude. They half of the archers that I fight, they don't pull out their secondary. They accept death.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Only bow.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
Or they'll pull out their
got me.
barricade.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh,
That's the
when
funniest
it first
to me
came
was that
out
someone
and the
pulls out a
placements were
barricade.
off, you would just see people with the boxes out running around, like just trying to place it anywhere desperately, you know? Oh, shit.
Look, man, sometimes you got to know when to take an L, and the archers, that's it. You know? I'll find it funny sometimes, too. You'll see one right on the front line, and, you know, like, what are you doing up there?
Yeah.
I will say, I've had a little bit of a guilty pleasure that I don't know if I'm proud of it or not, but it's very tempting. They like to stand on the walls of some of the castles, and you just go by and give the friendly one a little quick kick in the back.
I saw that. It's so
and
funny.
they go flying off into the water, and sometimes you can get like 3 or 4 of them in a row. Just dink.
Oh my gosh.
That's evil, Stridah. They're
They
your teammates.
do tend to group now, too. I call them rat kings when they're on the ground, and
Oh
and
my!
crow's nests when they're up in a tower like you described.
Yeah, it's
Rat
like Helm's
King.
Deep. Just give them a volley,
Yeah.
and they're all standing there. Oh,
Yeah, but
God.
I don't know. You guys
I'm loving
really
all the new
hate him.
players.
You guys really hate him. I'm not. I'm indifferent. I only
I
like the
normally
aim
don't.
assist.
I normally
Yeah.
don't. It's like
Strida's
oh my
the
God.
biggest hater on archers here.
I really.
I'm converting Bubbles too. I've seen the toxicity creeping into his posts.
It makes me, when I get killed by an archer, like, it can kind of put me in a bad mood. And I just want to, I don't know, I just want to play the game. I get killed by an archer.
I might be crazy. It might be placebo, but I think they tuned up that aim assist because oh my God, I have never died more to an archer than
they did.
right now. Maybe it's because there's more default Randys
I think
out
it's
there.
because there's more archers on the field too.
Yeah, it might be a combination. There's more archers. There's more default Randys, so maybe I look more distinct in the horde of normal customization.
Going off that, I think they also widened those counter windows a lot too for the newer players coming on to make it much more easier to block in like not just for like the returning players, but I think it's also to give them a little bit more defense for the new players coming on. You know, I don't know, just a thought, but I don't know.
No, yeah. Let's segue a little bit into our next topic here, so we keep on agenda. But I had a great conversation with Moon the other night about defense and chivalry right now, because I was complaining because almost every map I'm on now, just by being in the game, defense, we're winning on 0.1 or 2. I'm losing super high kill games because we just keep winning on defense. I was like, it's not fun. You know, like I don't want to play 5 minutes of Dark Forest. I want to play 30 minutes of Dark Forest and drop 100 and something kills. Like I'm losing all these great games here. And we got into talking about how, you know, the community, we always talk that we want to have around a 50% chance to win on each point, that, you know, attacking is so good and the game design is poor that they kind of give you some points to progress the game. But he's like, now that Bridgetown is pretty defensive favored and a lot of the good players are just stomping the lobbies on defense and the new players don't know what they're doing, games are ending early, and now everyone's complaining that the maps are ending too quick. So it's like, it's interesting about the design, because I'm guilty of both of those things because I've cried about both of them. You know what I mean? And now I'm like, the games, they're ending too short. So I'm starting to see the design perspective from them of why they do things the way they do. And
I prepared my
I'm curious what you guys
presentation.
think about it. Yes, I know Dave is passionate on this
Yes.
topic here.
I'll let them go, and then I'll give my presentation.
All right, Skadii, start us off.
So what do I think about defense being too easy now? Or like whatever you're feeling.
Yeah, just the design philosophy in a whole. Like
honestly, I think that like when it first came out, yeah, I really felt that way with games being too short. I love winning on defense. I don't know what you're talking about. I love winning at First Point Lion Spire. I love
can't
winning.
Can't post a 5-minute game on YouTube. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Wasting my time, dog.
Well, but you know. Now I'm really feeling like sometimes I'll lose on attack just because people don't really know what to do on certain objectives or how to position themselves. So I kind of feel it on both sides. But you know, I think like, you know, defense is I don't mind winning first points, but I don't feel the same exact way. I feel like it's like now as time is going on, the players are getting better and they're learning how to play on the maps. It's sort of slowly returning to how it was before. Like I even lost an attack on Dark Forest once just because people have no idea how to push the carts or whatever, and like they don't know they need to be near it, and then like just a bunch of crap happens. And so, I don't know. My perspective is it's slowly returning to how it was, and then maybe they should do like a balance change for whenever they have an influx of new players, and then maybe another balance change later on. It's like an ever-evolving thing, right? It's hard. It's really hard to balance these maps for newer players when you have a mix of veterans, and I feel it returning already to what it was. Yeah. You know, everyone's owning on Dark Forest every time.
Okay, so you're already feeling that?
Yeah, slowly. It's slowly returning to.
I'm still feeling that just like when I'm in the lobby, it skews it so far to one side that it almost makes it like an impossibility on defense. Like even you guys, I don't know, my chat will be laughing like Jester and all of them, but we've been doing the pull away move on defense. So we'll slaughter for the first 4 minutes and then we just back up and just hang in the spawn and do nothing to kind of like, you know, squeeze them through. But if we're even fighting, it just throws it off so badly that it's impossible to get a game going. I lost so many record pace like kill games because they can't push the damn cart.
We're also not getting those records because I hold them all.
Oh, please. I saw you post the one with the challenge. I'm like, I could probably just go in one of my VODs and just have it beat right there without even an attempt.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Big number. I think it was like 100, I can't remember, 158, but it was just a running timer. And I switched to attack, so you could shame me.
Oh, dude, all right, that's we just throw that one in the trash then. Attack swapping. Okay.
What
I actually, say, you know, I'm sure there's people. I probably have some moderators in here. Just maybe put them on the wall of shame right now. I can't believe that went through the. That fell through the cracks.
You're gonna put me on the wall.
No stranger to being a shamed man.
Oh, man.
Dave, what do you think of the philosophy, or is there anything that they could change? Like, how would you make the philosophy better? Because there's an in between right now.
Okay, yeah.
Everyone's gonna complain.
So this is how it's been for like 10 years. Okay, team objective is like the most fun I've ever had in any multiplayer game ever. It's the best. It's literally the best thing ever, hands down. But it's also it's incredibly flawed for the people who want a balanced experience before the end. And the reason that is because the way they build these maps is that they have a descending success rate based on how far you get into the match. So the first objective is like 95% chance that attack will win. And then the second is like 85, third is like 60, fourth is like, 55, and then the last one's like 50% win rate. And so they want it to be the further you get into the map, the more difficult it is to attack successfully. Sometimes there is a little bit of like leeway. Sometimes it's not exactly perfectly like more difficult the further you go in. If you look at Askendir, the first objective is way harder than the middle portion of the map. Yeah. Like that bridge is basically never defendable. It's literally like a just move and die if you're on defense. But the first objective is like you probably won a few games defending them from planting the petards. So it's not always like that, but generally it is more difficult to defend in the earlier stages, and they weigh it towards easier for attack until the end, where ideally they want the win rate to be 50% on that objective for both sides. And so if you want the win rate to be closer to 50-50 for the earlier objectives, you are going to get more wins on defense in those objectives, and it will feel unfulfilling because the match ends too early. And so the only way to really fix this is to have a map with less objectives. That way it doesn't feel as problematic when you win earlier in it. So instead of having a map with like 7 objectives, have a map with maybe 3 that all have like 8-minute long timers. And then maybe you won't feel as unfulfilled when you win on defense.
That whole just reminded me of Mordhau, and I was playing that a few weeks ago, and the front lines objectives take so long that it's boring as fuck. They're like those 8 minutes like you were talking about.
Yeah. Chivalry 2 has a lot of fun that relies on the flow of the combat constantly changing. You're in a wide open area, and then they funnel you into a funnel, and then they throw you back into a 3-lane, and then they move on to another wide open area, and then they condense you into a large circle. They do a lot of different things that change up how you fight, like between each different part of the map, that makes it more fun. And like I said, it's the most fun I've ever had in any multiplayer game ever. But it also kind of leads to this situation where you know it deep down that the first few objectives are filler content. Like, right? Like, you're not actually competing. Yeah. You're not competing.
No one survives the slaughter of Coxwell.
No one survives the slaughter of Coxwell.
There's no stand.
Yeah, actually, a couple of comp matches have actually ended on the first objective.
Someone actually told me they won at the gates the other day with the PSN noobs. Oh, my God.
Yeah, well, yeah, in a comp match, too, against, like, 2 competitive teams. One actually beat the other. There was a big difference in skill, but
I really like the peasant one because, and I kind of I think Reap made a comment before, or no, it was Skull. He was saying like maybe if you're a peasant, it shouldn't count against your KD or something like that, which would be kind of cool. But I kind of like those peasant battles in the beginning because it's you know, it's like a scrappy fight. You have shitty weapons, but sometimes you can overtake them, and it gives the veterans something fun to do in the beginning.
I like
the
one on
peasant is my favorite part of TDM period, and that's probably the only enjoyment I get of TDM at all.
Yeah, I like the one on Coxwell. I don't like the one on Bridgetown. The one on Bridgetown
I think
sucks.
I was just gonna say I totally agree with the Bridgetown one a bit because it's just, and especially how fast everyone is moving through that objective to get to the bridge. There's almost no time to react as a peasant. And you're slower.
The fact that there's gates on not Galcourt, Coxwell, you don't feel pressured to like win as a peasant. I guess like you don't feel like it's that big of a deal if you die because the gates hold them back until you can respawn. But the one on Bridgetown is like, okay, they're about to move up on the bridge. Also have fun respawning as a peasant 3 times.
No. Once I can tolerate, make me start 0-3, and I'm gonna be already toxic before I even got my sword.
Just go pick up a sickle.
Yeah. So
if you can make it to the sickle, anyway, you can do some work, man.
That philosophy.
You gotta pick it up, Bubs.
That's how they balance most maps. And so what you were saying is, you know, possibly people complained enough to where they were like, okay, let's give them a map where all the objectives are competitively viable, like that the defenders have a chance instead of just getting steamrolled. But like we talked about, that leads to unfulfilling matches where it ends early, and you kind of just have to, you know, be like, well, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, that's one of those moments where like it's almost like, oh man, the parents knew better than the kids, and they gave us what we wanted, and we hated it.
Yeah, that was quite a crazy monkey's paw, but I don't think they can monkey paw me on ranked mode, so I'll still ask for it.
I think that that day has passed. I don't think it's ever coming. I think that topic is just, if you look at like how many or how few people actually play it in Mordhau, like they're putting so much time and effort into for like 1% of the population that already plays the game.
Competitive
it's
rewards.
Just not worth it.
Imagine you get the top 10% of players and then you get a cape, bro. You think that it's not getting playtime? Come on now.
Yeah, it'll get playtime for the first month until like 99% of the players realize they're not getting the cape. Which that is a good segue into when the peasant cap actually meant something.
Oh,
which
yeah.
I'm very salty that 2 years you had to work to get a peasant cap, and someone sees you in a peasant cap, it's a big deal. Now they're fucking handing them out left and right. They're on the corners of the street. You want a peasant cap? You want a peasant cap? Here, everyone wear a freaking peasant cap. I'm
you're
still
so
salty
jealous
about it. I want a special like angel on my peasant cap. That's my demand.
I'm telling you, my cap fits very nice.
Snugly. That's why you
Very
got the
nice.
nice cut, right? You know,
Yeah.
that tight cap and. Oh man,
I-
I think we gotta get you a real life one, Bubs, so to go with the costume.
You have my you have one of my caps, remember? My crown.
It's actually a crown. It's actually a crown. I got it right here. Yeah. They always claim
Beautiful.
I think you may be overestimating how many people get that peasant cap. Like it's only
There's not that many.
Yeah, it's only creators that are partnered with Torn Banner that get the peasant cap. So if you're not
Nope.
partnered with them, you don't get it.
Played the game 3 times, earned a freaking peasant cap. Hate to see it.
What'd you do to earn yours, Stridah?
It was given to me for Twitch Rivals.
Oh.
So
Okay.
which as we do know, I'm Jen's favorite over at Torn Banner. So
Are you?
that's why we got entered. They told Jen to pick her favorite creators, and she's like, I'm going with the champ.
Oh my god.
As exact conversation. I got that in DMs from Moon.
Well,
Confirmed.
Moon told me specifically, he said, Emperor, we really want you to have the peasant cap. Here you go.
Wow.
Nah, I wish that's how it went, but have like a
No.
coronation ceremony.
I think that was I think all my complaining about the partner program not doing anything, so they're like, here, we're gonna give everyone peasant caps. Shut
Thank
straight
you.
up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That
Oh, God.
But no, I think that would be great to have more earnable cosmetics. Let me get,
Oh, definitely.
all right,
But
so
isn't there like a level 1000 thing?
Yeah, the Herald.
yeah,
thing.
it looks pretty
Yeah.
sick too, but I think it only works on
You got to wear
certain
like painted
outfits.
dreadnought and
Yeah.
stuff that really shows it off. Though that's one of the issues with it, but it's still cool. It's still cool. I like that.
It looks cool. Yeah,
It looks
cool.
badass
Don't
on
forget
Mason.
about the nickname,
What's the nickname? I'm not level 1000, so I
Overachiever.
yeah, yeah.
Is it
yeah.
really? That's
yeah,
hilarious.
it's overachiever.
I mean, we got a few of those now. I think we got Dong, we got Velvet, we got Jester just hit it, Stepbo in our crew. I know there's a bunch of others, but slowly people are creeping up towards
If they
it.
ever let you combine your accounts, they're gonna see a lot more level 1000s.
Yeah, because a lot of people switch to Steam, right?
I
think-
did.
Yeah, yeah.
Half my levels are on my Epic, and half my levels are on my Steam.
Yeah.
I'm Epic Games for life.
Yeah. I'm Epic Games. I'm gonna stick with Epics. The Steam is for when I'm playing off stream and I'm hiding. So.
You're playing
Hiding.
Archer. You're playing Archer.
Yeah,
on that
yeah.
account.
No.
Sure,
I
dude.
can take a screenshot
For
of the Archer
sure,
level. I
dude.
can take a screenshot of the Archer level.
yeah.
I heard
screenshot.
you're a level 7 archer.
I am. I did that all live on stream. So the story of my archery. I got to level 2. Did you actually watch my archery guide, Bubbles?
Yes.
I think it's some of my best work.
It
I
was
got
very
to
good.
level 2 on Archer shooting my own team with the bow for those clips.
Oh my
That's
god!
exactly when it hit. Because I said something about Archer shooting the team, and I was just in the lobby dinking my own teammates to get the clip, and I leveled up to 2.
No way! No way!
Now,
How?
Stridah, did you put yourself on the wall?
No,
playing as Archer?
no. I think that was before the wall was invented, and I think after watching the video, we can say it was
It was for
probably the
experimental purposes.
best.
It
It
was-
was
yeah,
probably
yeah.
it was probably
Content.
the best Archer play that has ever happened in this game. Like, and I wish I had done that video much later when I had much bigger of a following, because I feel like the level of butthurt people would have got about that video would have been epic. Like, it was just
Recreate
so
it.
good. I should, right? I should repost it, just like delete it and post it again. But and I got to level 7 in doing the shuffle mode, and I would toss the bow, and that's all live stream. I actually did unlock
If you say
javelins.
so.
I chucked the javelins; they were pretty fun.
Wow. I never thought I heard that
Jarver.
from you.
The Jarver
It
dude.
was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. All right, so let's get back to serious notes, because before we leave you guys, we got to throw in the coach here, because we all love the new content, but Coach Dave has taken over the Discord feedback section about parry. There have been some parry box changes, and the coach is not happy. So what's going on with parry here, Coach?
Okay, I think it's not the worst change in the world, but I think it may be a little bit too wide. I got a few clips of blocking people that I can't even see. Like I know that I can hear them going raw and hitting me in the side, but I can't even see them, but I'm blocking their attacks. Tons of people posting clips of hitting people in the back, but getting parried. In general, the new change that they made, while most would consider it a good change that makes the game more consistent, was not without cost. So I think Moon Moon would concede that a happy medium is in order between what we had and what we have now. And that's pretty much the gist of it. It's hard
Moon
to
Moon
give
don't
you...
block anyway, so he probably hasn't noticed anything.
I totally agree. I think that it needs to be toned down maybe just a tiny bit. I think it's much better than it was. Or like in general, it's better. Like things are more consistent, like you said. But like, man, sometimes I'm right. Even if you're like slightly like on the side too, and you're moving and hitting him in the back, they'll deflect it. Even if they have like a one-hander sometimes where the counter window is smaller, it's like
a good way to show, like, explain it would be before on 2.7, you were not blocking attacks that you should have, and now in 2.8, you're blocking attacks that you should not have. And
Yeah.
I'm serious. I rather have the former.
Yeah, the
because-
1vx's I've been pulling off are actually insane.
Exactly.
It's absurd. Like
we
I'll
have
kill
a
like
feedback forum
7
on
people.
it, where Moon Moon already had to delete some unsavory comments from individuals. But
Which one of my guys was it?
but for the most part, it's just kind of like a showcase of like, hey, this is how it's going in the update. And I think this is the larger result of the problem where we don't get to test any of the combat changes, despite that us knowing that they have the capability of running test servers. So we would like to use the test servers. That's what I would like, to be able to test combat changes. You know, it just makes sense.
It would be nice, and I'm still kind of on the side with my theory that they did it, especially for the new players, to give them a little bit more protection. I really think they did.
There's nothing you
but
can do
maybe
to
I'm
stop
wrong.
noobs from getting stomped.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Yeah, that's another
Nothing
thing.
you
Like,
can do.
they die in 10 seconds. They die in 8. What's the difference?
Either way, they die.
Hey, if they get an extra kill though before they die because of the parry box, they might be happy. But I know they're still going to get stomped.
Yeah,
but
they gave them more takedowns.
I've seen more retention in this patch than any other, and maybe it's more the cross-party system, but I think it has a little bit to do with it too.
I think the game's also in a great place where when you do click on 64, there's a lot of content in there now. So if you're someone new to the game, you could have played these 2 weeks and not seen every map. If you're like the normal casual hops on an hour or so after work, you might not have even seen half of it. So I feel like that probably is helping too.
Yep.
Yeah, I like to think that they're building up the game, just content-wise, like more cosmetics, more maps, more everything. And although it's not what I want, I think they're building up just so they can say, like, look how much we have in the future.
Yeah, for that epic free-to-play release, that'll boost our
Exactly.
accounts to 50k subs.
I genuinely agree with you. The next update might even include the weekly and daily quests and stuff, and I really think they're trying to build an actual video game, because when this game launched, and for the past 2 years, it really hasn't been that solid of a game. So I think they're just trying to build up to that area where they can be considered like a fully fledged experience, and with like 10 battle passes that you could purchase.
Have a backlog, because they're pretty quick. So if you get someone who comes into Chivalry, gets super addicted right away, you could bang out a few battle passes a week. Like that, bam, that's $30-$40 right there.
Oh yes, exactly. Yeah, I think that's the plan. Just keep building up to where like new players have a good amount of things to purchase. Because once you press that trigger on free to play, there's no going back.
No, that's the last step you can make, and ideally you want the game to be in the best state it can possibly be for that. But I do think they could integrate the battle pass better to where, like, after the game you see a real big thing come across your screen with what you've unlocked and stuff. Like Fortnite does that so well that otherwise it doesn't even cross your mind because you don't see it till you get out of game. And that's unless you're like Bubbles, where his battle pass doesn't update apparently.
I don't know what's going on with that. So who said free to play? Really? Is that?
We've been speculating and hoping for that for a while. Yeah, that at some point it'll happen. We don't know. We have no information.
It'll probably be when they have a good process on the next big step for Torn Banner and another game
Go
that they're
free to
working
play
on.
for a year before Civ 3 or something.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, at the moment, I don't see a lot of benefit to making your battle passes like not timed, unless it's for the future, you know? Because at the moment, like they never really cared about good favor with us. So why would you care about having good favor by making your battle passes not timed? So I think that's the only reason. So that way you can have a backlog for people to purchase in the future.
Yeah, I will say in general, I've always thought that they were pretty consumer friendly about in-game purchases. Like, I feel like they could have milked us way more through the years, and I don't know, maybe they're just building a little good faith with the battle pass.
Maybe.
But,
I mean, they started, right? The only 2 armor sets in the new update are paid. So,
well,
That's
yeah.
why I got it.
yeah, exactly.
They got
I
me.
still need to buy the barbarian skin. It's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, like
That one is weird.
There is quite a
That's
bit of
why
paid
it's
content
funny.
now. The King's Bundle, the Barbarian set, both battle passes. They're building up a backlog. I don't think that's a bad thing either. It's fine. I'm just kind of pointing
I have
it
no
out.
problem with it. I think they missed the boat a little bit. If they could have been releasing one of those sets a month, I mean, that would have been, go with the full Fortnite model. They could have been
Yeah, I
making a lot
agree.
more money, and they didn't do that. So, I say like, respect, credit to them that they haven't milked us dry over the last 2 years. So it's good to see, because so many companies, they don't care about the game. At the design phase, it's how can we monetize the game. That's step one before we even get to gameplay. So credit to them there. All right, boys, we're at 8 o'clock sharp here. Dave, do you have anything to close up with on the combat?
Nope.
All right, gentlemen. Then we're gonna start taking questions from the chat. If anyone has anyone who is desperate to ask something about the game, please, nothing about Skadii with people's moms. Please, please.
I've got some instead of peasant caps, since they're becoming more prevalent. Maybe we need a cape from my chat.
I'll take a cape. Done.
Oh
Which
my
would be
goodness.
cool.
I'm sold. Give me a cape.
Does the cape have a hitbox?
I imagine it wouldn't. That would be pretty. Like you turn around, the
Yeah.
cape is like blowing in the wind, and somebody hits the cape, and you get hit. It's the veteran hard mode difficulty. But I don't know. I think that would be pretty dope. A cape / cloak. Yeah, to have like a hood too. That would be cool.
Yeah, I'm sold on capes. I'd love to get capes.
A hood would be pretty dope. Now that they have the open face armors, maybe a cloak would be cool. But I don't know.
I'm with you.
Have you seen a better medieval armor set than underwear and a cape and a fucking great sword? Like,
You can just wear the gladiator skin.
Yeah,
sounds I'm
Go female
sold.
gladiator
I'm sold.
skin.
Love the idea.
You'll look great.
So I have a few. They want to know what Skadii's favorite weapon is. I feel like this is probably the easiest question to answer.
Long sword. Yeah, it's long
Until
sword.
we get to the next question with what is Bubbles' favorite weapon?
The starting
God.
weapon or what? Like favorite
What is
weapon?
your favorite
anything,
weapon? Yeah.
Anything I can pick up, or starting weapon?
It just said
Your
weapon,
favorite
so-
primary
We'll
weapon.
leave it up to
It's gotta-
interpretation here.
What do you
Bubs.
mean we're leaving? Let's just say I've got a good relationship with somebody named Dane, or it could be yeah.
All
But
right.
favorite
Sometimes
weapon
there's
is
two
the
of
fish.
them.
Yes,
Fish.
but yeah, the fish. It's so much fun.
The flaming
All right,
fish.
We got a good one
Yes.
here. Who wins an arm wrestling match between the Emperor and the Champ, and how fast does the Champ win? That comes from the Night Jester.
Oh my god, I look like Popeye.
Yeah, you've got like an apple. It looks like an
see
apple
it.
on your arm.
Let's
dude.
come on,
Holy-
Stridah, flex. Oh fuck. I'm done.
Not
for.
taking down the champ.
Let's do a pull-up contest, Stridah.
That would be hilarious. So we've been talking with my Discord, and we have to do something because most of us, probably not Dave, are dumbasses, and we have to do some sort of trivia night or like basic,
Yes.
like that "Are you smarter than a sixth grader?" stuff that I'm sure we will all flunk, and it would be so funny.
It would be a lot of fun.
Like, just get the Angels and the Empire, the biggest idiots of the crew, put them all in on a call, and have them do like a game of intelligence.
Oh god.
That would be really fun.
Dave's not invited because Dave will just fucking win.
I'm not as smart as you think I am.
And a spelling contest.
The
Spelling.
spelling contest sounds hilarious too. We have to do some of this. It would be so good.
All right, chivalry. That's your word.
Chivalry.
Ask Dave to spell emperor.
Oh God, don't.
Yeah,
that was
he's
one
done.
mistake. One mistake.
You're not going to attempt.
They're saying bench
attempt
press
emperor?
bench press contest when they're all actually bodybuilders. How do I, as a PS player, not suck? That's a good question from Mr. J from my chat. You guys have anything on that?
Yeah. Counter more.
Counters. That's what I usually tell people too.
That'll take him 100 hours to do. So it's like just counter more.
What were you gonna say, Emperor?
I was going to say, no offense to people who use controllers, but I would recommend getting a keyboard and mouse. I've always been a console gamer, but now I have a keyboard and mouse. I have a PC, and I couldn't imagine playing this game on controller. I tried once. I wanted to throw my controller out the
How
window.
long did it take you to adjust to go from controller to mouse, would you say?
I mean, I would say, so like, in terms of actual PC games, Chivalry 2 was the first one that I really got into keyboard and mouse. I played Total War, but that doesn't really count. Like, I'm not just pointing and clicking, but it took a while. I wasn't very good. I think I'm okay now. I think I'm pretty good. But
I think the Emperor's top tier, so...
I don't think you could use keyboard and mouse on console.
I think with PlayStation you might be able to.
Yeah, I think you can now on Xbox players. I think can do it, but I'm not sure. Exactly, but I've heard people doing it.
I have an epic comment from Gay Dad Las Vegas, and he said, "Bubbles, you're amazing to play with, a true inspiration. Stridah and Skadii, my son and I love killing y'all." That definitely never happened. Question: Stridah and Skadii, why don't y'all ever play the objectives and only farm kills? Because only shitters do the objective. I'm a fucking champ. I'm not carrying petards. Like, it's a sad day in Chivalry if I'm tossing torches. No,
I'm just
here
creating,
to kill people.
I'm creating,
that is my job.
I'm
Send
creating
people
space.
back to the respawn. Come on.
It's called creating space. Okay. I
really
am doing objective by creating space. No, I'll pick up the slack on objective if I see people not pushing it.
If we're down to a minute and a half and it's not done,
if
I'll
it's
go.
2 minutes left,
Listen,
that's what
it's got a little bit of the hero.
And it's a sad day when that has to happen.
Yes,
The shitters should be pushing the stuff.
Of
Let
the
me
hero
do what I
syndrome.
do.
A little bit of the hero syndrome where you do nothing besides find like 3 guys, jump in between them, and start killing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got some of the hero syndrome going. For sure.
I mean, it should be pretty easy for everyone else to do the objective when you're throwing up like 90 kills in a game. Like, there's no one fucking left. Just carry the petard for me.
I'm a man of the people. I'm going on the objective. I'll carry the petard. I don't care.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
I ain't seen this dude toss one torch, and I watched him quite a bit.
All right, I'm tonight, torches only.
He's gonna make it. There's gonna be clips all on my Discord. He's like, world record most torches thrown in an hour.
That's a good idea, actually. It is.
Oh man.
They need to have the fish be able to burn the bookcase on Ascandir.
Yeah, that would be dope.
I know it's really random, but
it's not complete
awesome.
until the fish can burn the bookshelves, dude.
I wish fire pots did worked on fire objectives.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Or that, yeah.
Anything that could
cool.
burn, you should be able to burn it with a fire pot.
That makes too much sense.
I don't know why you can't, but Chivalry, it is what it is. Okay, Gay Dad Las Vegas loved the answer. All right, good. We're making fans here.
What's the best map and why is it Dark Forest while on defense?
That's got to be a troll.
Yeah, that's a troll question.
Although right now, Dark Forest on defense is fucking glorious. You can farm so many kills.
Yeah, Dark Forest right now is balanced for the moment, but it's starting to tilt towards attack again. But
is it?
Oh
Makes
yeah,
Stridah
for
happy.
sure.
The best map in the game is Thaic Stronghold with horses.
There's horses on Thaic Stronghold.
Oh yeah, for mounted warfare. Yeah.
The funny part is, like after the first 2 points where you have to climb the mountains, and they're like there's really tight tunnels where you have to go uphill. That's where the horses are, so you have to ride them up or down there.
And then you just get ballisted.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know. I think
like
that was
a cold
stretch.
climate for horses.
Yeah, they brought them on the boats though. They brought them on the boats.
They got the Budweiser ones, maybe.
There we
go. Warm.
The stallions.
Yeah, yeah. I got something about maps up here. Give me a second. What are some of the changes you guys would make to Bridgetown map, and how can they make it more balanced? I feel like we already kind of answered that one earlier in the stream, but I think Dave said give the some of the objectives more health, but give you more time to do them.
Yes, any objective that has a health bar, increase the health bar, increase the timer with it. Done. You instantly made the map have more playtime.
All right. What class do you think needs to have more drip added, and who needs more cosmetics? Knight Officer.
Not at all. Knight has the most. Knight has the most.
I just picked my class.
Yeah, Knight does have the most. I think. Yeah, I think
Vanguard is definitely the one
Vanguard and
lacking.
Mason Footman is a little scrappy looking compared to the Agathian one, in my opinion.
Vanguard usually, I think it has like the least, and even when it does get some, it's just like ugly or paid. Like the Gladiator set is a paid one. And it's also, I just don't like it.
I don't mind the Vanguards. I don't like virtually any Footman one. I think they all suck.
The Mason Footmen look like dorks a little bit.
Yeah, like I just there's not one Footman I like on either side.
I do like the Fat Boy skin for the Mason though. I think it's goofy looking. The one it's just like a padded vest that makes your character look a little bloated, but I don't know.
We need one of those hats with the feather for the rapier on it. That's what we need.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Like all in. Jester said that he thinks Rudhelm's the best map, the most balanced, and I think that's universally agreed upon.
Yeah, it's a tie between Linespire and Rudhelm for me.
Yeah.
I think they're equally as fun.
Make a list of like which maps I don't bitch at all, and then you got your top maps.
You guys are gonna hate me for my favorite map.
What is it?
Coxwell.
Bodwin.
Oh, fine. Yo, ban him.
No,
Get him out of here.
I think Bodwin's fine. I get a lot of comments that say that they hate it, but I think it's fine, but it's not my top.
I didn't hate it until they made the starting map rotation. Thayic Stronghold, Desert TDM, Breach of Boston, Bodwin, Racing of Askendir,
Breach of Boston,
whatever the fuck it is.
The Breach of Boston.
And that broke me as a fucking person.
Dude,
and if I see the Breach of Boston again, I just can't take it anymore. PTSD.
I don't blame you at all, but that town hall on Bodwin is so goated.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
That's fun.
And
have the sundial on that map. There's a sundial.
Yep,
Lights
and
on
the
fire.
bazaar, and also the final objective. I actually think is the most creative and cool. Where you have like
it's cool,
where you have the cannonballs falling down the hill every time someone drops it. It's really funny. I like it.
God, my favorite moment of the noob so far was someone try firing a catapult repeatedly.
That's
So
funny.
stupid.
Reminded me of that. Anyone else have any? Oh, we got emote or teabag after getting a revenge kill for teabagging.
Teabag.
Teabag.
And emote. Teabag and emote.
I'm
I do the
teabag.
I do the
Dave's
teabag. Yeah, I do the teabag plus the shrug emote to make it look like a curtsy.
Okay. Dave Toxic confirmed.
In my culture, the teabag is a sign of respect. So I don't teabag.
Yes.
But I do emote. It's a sign of respect.
I got two teabags, and I mainly do the second one. I got the first one, which is "ha ha, I killed you," and then like the other one, which is like "yes, you know, I got a kill," and so I do the second one more often, but they can't tell the difference. So.
All right, I got an actual question here. All right, an actual question this time. If they add a flail, do you think it'll be a one-hander or a two-hander flail? And which do you prefer between the two if we can only get one? Maybe for me, I think either would be cool. For me, all that would really matter is that it changes the combat a little bit and uses the actual flail chain in a little bit of physics maybe with it. I know that'll never happen, but being able to just swing it, whether it's a one or two-hander, and maybe like the heavies, you can just keep holding it.
Yes,
And then you release,
I really like that.
right?
So
That'd be cool on heavies only.
I think two-handed, only because
I want two-handed.
like we already had a one-handed flail in Chivalry 1. Obviously, I would like both, but if the question is which one would I rather have, I'd like the one that we haven't seen rather than the one we have seen. And I think it would be the first Crusader weapon that actually is like unique,
yeah,
'cause-
yeah.
'cause
I
that
think,
quarterstaff is not a crusader weapon. I will never believe it to be.
With two hand too, at least you can work around, like you can block it with the shaft, right? Like this. With the one hander, if you get rid of the
Yes.
shield, you're gonna block it like this. It's not
Yeah,
gonna look
that's
too
another
Yeah.
thing.
And
In
you-
Chivalry 1, the flail couldn't be used without a shield. But in Chivalry 2, shields break. Chivalry 1, they didn't. So I don't really know how they would want to do it differently. You know, maybe that's why they haven't added it. They can't figure it out. But I like your idea where you can just keep holding it down to have it swinging.
That would be
Like,
awesome.
Yeah,
That would be awesome.
It would change the way that you play the game, and I think they need more weapons like that, where it feels like you actually need to. You pick up a new weapon, you actually need to master it. Where now it's just okay. I've got different swing speed and a different length, but I can do everything that
imagine?
every
Every
single
time
weapon
they
can
do that, everyone hates it. Every time they add
Yeah.
a unique weapon, people hate it. So
Well, I
Yeah.
think the flail is still grounded enough in medieval, like, culture that people would like it. Could you imagine if they made it like the damage scale with the twists? Like, if you
Oh,
just did a
God.
regular heavy, it's like 60, but if you held it for 3 twists, it's like 100. So
Oh,
you can
my
run
God.
up behind someone.
Yeah, it
fucking
would be
charging
dope.
it.
But your movement
Boom!
speed is like slowed, so it would
yeah,
there's
that
a
would be
lot of
fun.
cool things that they could do with it, man.
Yeah, that would be fun.
But
That would
will
be
we ever
awesome.
see it in Shiv 2? I don't know. But maybe in the
Dude,
next
no,
game.
your next weapon is the Golden Dog. Be disappointed. The freaking Golden Dog, dude.
Bubs will probably have a fun time
is
running
that?
around throwing that.
It's the new weapon.
It's a statue or something. I
No,
don't
it's
know.
a
right?
it's a mace with a spike at the end.
Okay,
So a Morning Star?
maybe.
It's
I expect something that you pick up on the map.
no, it's like the full weapon that's going to be added next. It's like the Morning Star, but two-handed and only one spike instead of like 20.
Why would you only
okay.
want one spike? I guess
Well,
it's
it
just
was
stab.
Too few of spikes.
Yeah, it's meant to be like a
Yeah,
little.
I
a
want
little
at least
spear.
5-6 spikes here, Bubs. Right?
No,
Like,
Yes,
come on.
yes.
So historically, it's a weapon that was made for like to be made cheap, right? So it literally is just a club, a metal club with a spike at the end for stabbing, and it's just ugly. I don't like it.
Sounds like a spoiler alert, Dave.
Yeah,
Well,
did you farm that in the data?
Yeah,
He farmed that,
I
yeah.
data farm everything. You can spawn it in and use it. It's pretty cool, but I hate it.
Oh, it's already in the game. Oh, okay. Oh,
They don't
shit.
have a model for it. Well, they have a 3D model for it, but they don't have a texture for it. But you can run around and swing with it. So
Oxtradamus wants to punch that dude's mustache. It's looking at me wrong. That is a $1,300 mustache, right?
$1,500.
Right 15. Don't touch, baby. Don't touch. Dave got an expensive stash.
Dude, Dave, did I ever tell you that when I had a stash a while ago, and people were thanking me for your content, so I might do that again. I might shave and get a mustache and impersonate you again.
Thanking you for
all the
my
all the
content? That's
compliments were great.
Oh my god! And there's now a guy who's been coming in and stream sniping me who's been naming himself Stridah TV. I think it's Banana Bill Bread, and he's copied my exact outfit in the game, and then he starts typing in all chat like pretending to be me, and it's so fucking funny. He's calling people like cuck archers and stuff. It is hilarious.
Strider TV.
So, Dave, you got a
Yes.
comment on a hate comment on your mustache. I
Okay.
was out and about today and I asked my friend, "What do you think of my mustache?" And he said, "What mustache? You're blonde." I was like, God, you know how hard I've been working on this?
Well, after the live shaving, it didn't come back, huh?
It's here. You just can't see it.
Oh god. You should dye it.
Just for men.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
That'd be a fun thing to
Okay,
do. Maybe for like a challenge.
Little Pony is asking for the Angel's IQ test, if that's going to be coming up soon. Yes, we're going to make some sort of mental
Room temp.
challenge happen.
Room
I
temp.
feel like there's a lot of good participants for that. That could be hilarious. We need to make that happen in the next month. Someone's got to find like homework. Someone's got to find like an online program that has that, like an idiot test or something that we could all do. Like, I don't know. Because it can't be one of those normal
Idiot
trivia
test.
games. I've been at like fucking parties where people play those, and I'm just like, I don't know shit. So if you get in a bunch of people like me, like, we'll never get a question. Like, it's got to be like some basic sort of like literacy or something. I don't know, but it's got to be
Reading
like, it's gotta
comprehension.
be for idiots. I can read well. I'll do good on that. All right, boys. I think we're about done on questions here. I'm sure everyone's ready to go start getting in game and doing their thing. I know the Emperor has a big event coming up.
Yeah, we're gonna be tonight Chivalry Tournament Series, little kill races and point races. If anybody wants to join, you're welcome to.
I might actually join.
All right.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I think we're all gonna go about doing our thing now. Thank you to everyone for hopping in, spending time with us, both in the chat and on the cast. Thank you, Bubs, for joining us. Hope you had a good time. And my normal crew, guys, we'll be back in 2 weeks. We're gonna figure out what we're doing. I'm hoping we get jousting mode before then, so that we have something new to talk about. But we'll see. We'll talk about what Torn Banner provides and take it from there. All right, guys, I'm going to end the cast over here. Thank you to everyone. Love to all, and peace out.
Peace out, homies.
Have a good one.
Hey, guys. Thanks, Stridah.
Good. Great job, guys. Thank you for joining.
Peace.
Really appreciate it.
All right, homies. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We're gonna get some fucking shit in, boys. If you're on YouTube, I'm just going to stream on Twitch tonight and chill and play some good tunes. Just give me one moment here to set up. If you're on YouTube right now, try to join me on Twitch via the link. Just give me about 2 minutes or so. Was fun, but I'll see you later, YouTube. Come join me on Twitch, homies. Peace.